We're so happy to have you on to talk about this film because it's so beautiful and such a wonderful, wonderful tribute to Jeff, who we're all so sad that we lost him way too early. But when you think about the scope of the all the music that we got in the very little time, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, there is a lot to find in that short window of time. But also the fact that there was only one studio album is kind of what feeds into the whole mythological side of this, I think, that people want more. And so they're just looking for it. But yeah, it's a very sad story.
Yeah, of course. Well, and you've been through this a little bit before, like with West of Memphis and all that, but this one in particular, I think maybe going to I think that was a sad situation, and who you talk to, the people that were affected, but this was just so tragic in its own way, and having to listen to the people that his mom and his girlfriends talk just so lovingly about him. It must have been really, really hard.
Yeah, it was heavy. And it's interesting you bring up west of Memphis because I was so often in Memphis right near the Wolf River. When I
Uh,
stayed there, I stayed just, right down right up the hill from it. And a lot of this inspiration came from that period of time
hmm Yeah. And when did you first discover Jeff's music?
in 1994.
Yeah.
When I was like rocking out to Nirvana and someone handed me the CD of Grace. Or actually, I think I bought it, but I heard about it because I was very in that scene. I was reading every fanzine and, every magazine that existed on the music that was coming out. And so I got it and I was like, it totally changed my life. I mean, it was so beautiful to be able to like experience something that wasn't so aggressive and heavy and like testosterone driven. It was so beautiful. So it just felt so real to me.
Yeah. And did you ever get to see him live or get to meet him or anything?
Not like you. I was at the Fez one night. I was working with this band called 16 Horsepower and they opened for him. So I saw him a bit, but I was working that night, so I didn't get to just like enjoy it in the same way.
Yeah, but in the same room and in
In the
in
same room, his
the presence.
presence is very, yeah, it was amazing. So,
Yeah, that's so cool. Well,
mm,
and then of course, there's so much still to discover. I mean, I thought I had heard every song by him, but they're demos and live things and new things all the time, and so it's had to have been kind of a fun discovery for you too, just seeing all the or hearing all the songs maybe that you might have missed too.
yeah, his process and seeing songs change and lyrics change and yeah, it was really beautiful to be able to dig into that.
And what is the song that just gets you every single time that you hear it by him?
Oh God. I always said Lover, you should have come over. But
hmm
after 5 years in production, I really love I think Grace is gonna right now I'm really in a Grace mode, so that's kind of my song right this moment. But
Yeah.
there's nothing I don't like on the album. So
Yeah. That's true.
mm,
Well, and then what was the times like chatting with his mom, who I know his mom just loves him and was uh
yeah.
been great to interact with previously as well.
His mom is it took me 10 years to get permission from her. So I had some shorthand with her and she is incredible. She's been through so much
Yeah.
and Um, she was very honest and open with me. She doesn't, she wants the truth to be out there, and we all have the blessing of hindsight at this point, so we can put our, take on things. But she loved him so much, and she clearly wants the story to be told, but probably also, wants to hold it back as well because it's so precious to her.
Yeah. Well, and of course his girlfriends as well too. It's so emotional seeing them explain the stories about him and just like the
Mhm.
heart that he had, right?
Yeah, I guess being with Jeff and seeing him go so soon really stuck with both of his partners. So yeah, it was heavy. And that was another, situation where I had to, spend time and build trust as well so that it was comfortable for them to talk about him the way I wanted them to.
Yeah, but also he had a great sense of humor, and this is the fun part. Is there's
Yeah.
thing to just the way that he was,
Hmm.
and there's probably I know there's so much that you probably couldn't include, but I imagine there's probably some funny moments that just didn't quite fit, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he was hilarious and we just had to kind of like focus on establishing that and letting you sit with it because, everyone talked about how funny he was with his impressions and how he would just make people laugh all the time. So that, that was a great part of his persona, I guess, his personality, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
And it
Sorry.
probably is a great feeling to finally get this story out too, because I know that you've been after this for years, and just it's of course there's always the talk of a movie, someone playing him,
Mhm.
happening. So it's good to finally have this out there, right?
Totally, totally. And I think if that ever is going to happen, I always thought it should happen after the documentary because, it'll get people excited and it seems to be doing its job there. So,
Yeah, absolutely. And I understand on opening night, there's going to be a live performance that people can see
uh,
in theaters, right?
yes. So we are releasing 24 minutes of some of it's in our film, but we're releasing it as a concert at the end of the film so that people can just get an experience of him all the way through. And we
Yeah,
just
that's so cool.
remastered that new footage. So it's going to be cool.
Yeah. You've always had a great eye and always picked a fascinating subject. So when did you first decide that you wanted to go down this road and tell people stories?
Um, well, I think I discovered it when I was very young, but I was very shy also, and I didn't trust my own voice until probably, to be honest, I had a son pretty young, and I just being a mother encouraged me to push myself a little bit further and use my voice. So yeah, like around 2000-ish is when I got my courage together. So a few years
Yeah.
after he passed, I guess. So.
Yeah, that's so cool. And what would you say to other filmmakers that want to tell great stories like you do? Do you have any advice for them?
Yeah, I think you just have to follow the lead of what the subject tells you and what the material gives you. And I know, we all want to like take things to another level, but I think you figure that out as you edit a story, what you should do that is like inventive in a way. But I think like just sticking to the source and finding the story and then figuring out how you want to tell it and using your heart instead of your head sometimes, it's
Yeah.
important.
Well, another guy that's got the great story that happens to be my co-host is Drew Pearson, one of our great Dallas
Uh-huh.
Cowboys. Caught the Hail Mary, went in the Hall of Fame. So he said, I have to ask you your Hail Mary moment, the moment in your life or career you just had to go for it and it worked out for you.
This is it. This is
Yeah.
it. I mean, I've been trying to do this since like the early, like 2008, 2009. So it's like, I'm way invested here and I stuck with it. And I should have walked away many times because it just seemed like it was never going to happen. But I'm here and persistence pays. In this situation, it did. So this is my Hail Mary moment.
Yeah, I love it. And what do you keep in mind that kind of keeps you on the right path even when things are tough? Because I know it's tough and it takes years out of your life making these things.
My God. Yeah, that's a tough question. I mean, I think that you just have to get a good sleep when you have those moments because it always dissipates, but there are moments when you're just like, forget it, I'm done, I can't do this. Who cares? And usually that comes from just exhaustion. And so then I'll like wake up the next day and be like, okay, let's go. So, um, sleep, that's the
Yeah.
key to everything.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
love it. And what are you hoping that people will get out of this or take away from it? Because there's so much going on here and so much to think about and talk about and discuss afterwards.
I would like people to go and make art. That's it. I think that's what Jeff would want. And I want this film to make people feel creative and find their creative spirit and go write a letter to somebody, do a painting, start a film, take pictures, whatever it is, do some pottery, whatever makes you happy, go do it.
Yeah.
Don't let like laziness or insecurity or anything get in the way of doing your thing.
I love that. And I know that there's probably a whole lot left over that you couldn't include. Will there be a maybe a different version that'll come out on physical media that might have like extra scenes or
Oh
some of
yeah.
the stuff in it?
Yeah, we're working with the extra scene. So that should be coming out on like TikTok soon. We'll work on that.
Okay. Ah, that's so cool. Well, after this, I can't wait to see what you do next. It's always fascinating to see. So, what are we going to see next from you?
Well, I'm working on a doc about Chris Cornell right now, so
Uh,
hopefully you'll see that soon. Hopefully it won't take 5 years, but you never know with me. But
yeah.
my next project,
Well, I
trying to
know.
get focused on it.
Yeah, I know people love that, and he's someone that I met before and was also very, very lovely. So it's
Oh,
great to
you
have
met
this.
everyone. That's
I
so cool.
really have. It's
Oh,
I've been doing this, let's see, for 25 years now professionally, and then I did this in high school and college too. So my kind of a,
oh,
goes goes way, way back. So there's a lot of
yeah,
people that are sadly either not with us anymore or don't play anymore or anything like
yeah.
that that I've been able to talk to. And
Mm,
I certainly wish I would have been able to interview Jeff, but I
mm,
being able to have met him and be around his spirit
yeah.
was fantastic.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, cool. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for doing what you do, and hopefully to see you on the next one.
Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate you. I'll
Thanks,
see you
Paul.
soon.
All right,
All right,
take
thank
care.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.